Hi, Gemini, and welcome to your October forecast. To start off the month, of course, we have that powerful new moon solar eclipse on October 2nd. That's occurring at 15 degrees Virgo in sidereal, and then we'll have a full moon in Libra just inside, or I'm sorry, full moon in Aries within the first degree, and that's with the sun moving into Libra October 17th. All right, so let's start with your tarot. We have postponement, the Four of Swords, courage, the Strength card, past lives, the Moon, and comparison, the Five of Swords. All right. You feel like a late bloomer, Gemini. Maybe it's just a lack of focus, but it seems like you've gone through many different lives within this life. There's been a shedding of skin many times, so you may feel developmentally delayed. There's been like a postponement to your glow up, but it's not without reason. Maybe you feel like you're being held back or throttled, but that only is the case as long as you continue to compare your path with the path of others. Just because they look like this big, strong, sturdy, developed tree, they've got deep roots, they're secure. You're this bamboo, and you're trying to compare apples and oranges. The bamboo is strong as well, but it's also flexible. It moves and flows with the changes of life. I think you have an easier time navigating changes than most people. You're very adaptable. As an air sign, you go with the flow. You see things differently than the rest of the world because you've seen it from so many different angles. The key here is to not get caught up in any kind of comparison with other people. You have to look at your own path. You know, maybe somebody was given better soil, but you were given a rock pile, but you have the strength to grow out of that, and not everybody could. This tree never would have taken root if it had the environment that you did. Where did you start from? What were your roots? What's the quality and nutrient content of the soil? But the fact that you made do and made use of what you were given, not just from this life, but from past lives too. You had a lot of talents, skills, and abilities, and you've lived a lot of lives, so maybe that just gives you a larger toolbox than most people. And it can be hard to focus in on the one thing that's going to help you thrive in this life. So let's see what your alchemy card is. All right. Wow, gold. Okay, need I say more? You are gold, Gemini. Number 26. It's the alchemist's dream to take that which is lead and turn it into gold. And here you are coming up with an entirely new formula in order to make that happen based on your experience. What do they say? You know, like the rarest flower, rarest, most beautiful flower is often the last one to bloom. So that's the postponement too. It's like everybody, maybe you feel like people are watching you, judging you, looking in on your life, going, get it together. What are you doing? Like, and they're comparing their lives to yours, and they, from the outside in, they don't see much progress, but you know that the opposite is true, that you are secretly working on this, something bigger than they could ever imagine or ever believed they could achieve. They got off the bus too early. You're still driving. So as long as you're not comparing yourself to anybody else in a negative light, but as to what you're working on, it just takes longer. It takes a different route. It takes a specific set of skills in a certain sequence, and you're still figuring out that sequence. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's this courage to continue on whatever formula you're working on and not letting other people corrupt your work or influence it or encourage you to quit. That could be the Five of Swords as well. You could be getting a lot of verbal backlash or naysayers, but literally you're just waiting for the right time to bloom. Okay, so let's see what your Queen of the Moon... Oh, power. Gold power. You're on top. Look at this. This is a full moon. Number 16, which is like a tower. I think you're going to shock a lot of people when you come out of your shell. It's like you're still coming online. You're still making connections within your brain, within your body. You're still putting all the pieces together, like I said, like a mathematician working at a chalkboard, constantly erasing and rearranging letters and numbers and seeing what's going to unlock this power, what's going to unlock this gold. So I want to read about the gold card for a second. It's illumination, splendor, and culmination. The alchemist's gold is no ordinary gold. It is not found in rings or coins or necklaces. It is a substance buried deep within. Sometimes referred to as gold of the wise, philosophic gold, the ethereal stone, or the divine quintessence, among countless other names. For our purposes, we seek not the physical metal, but the mystical essence within each alchemist. How do we recognize it? It mimics qualities of the metal itself, soft and radiant, and its planetary counterpart, the sun, warm and bright. It's no wonder gold is associated with the heart. When this gold arrives, there is something of incredible value at hand. It is marvelous and rare. Cherish it, get to know its properties and its source. The gold card carries a distinct shadow. If mistaken for a purely physical material, it can lead to greed and excess, causing the alchemists to lose their way. Reverence is the key. And I feel like perhaps that's why it is. Your wealth may come later in life. Because of these past lives, there may have been an experience where you were someone with immense wealth and power. Maybe you abused that power. And that's why it's been harder to regain in this lifetime. There's a different perspective, like I mentioned with the window she's looking through. You're seeing this life through a new lens, maybe from the opposite. Starting out rough instead of starting out wealthy. I recommend you read Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. It talks about the enlightenment of the Buddha and how he experienced both extremes of life, extreme poverty and asceticism, and a life of luxury and wealth. But he had to experience both of those. You're a dualistic sign. We have light and shadow like everybody, but it almost feels more extreme with Gemini. We push things as far as they'll go, just so we can say we've been there. And that's going to help us gain a whole new respect for that end of the spectrum. Wow, and I just read the sidebar here. It says, your gold may be entirely different from someone else's. It is important for the alchemist to respect their own unique journey toward the righteous and resplendent goal. Excuse me, but yeah, don't compare your gold to anybody else's gold. Okay, so looking at the power card, the number 16 is like the tower in tarot, and that can come through in a powerful way. The card says, step into your true power, shine brightly, do not hide who and what you are. The time is right to attract big things for yourself. Ancestral energy is important. Open your mind to larger possibilities. Big magic can be wrought. I have power. It is real. Okay, so this is some of you maybe turning on that power within you, the strength card, Leo, the solar plexus, the sun, turning on that energy source within you and radiating outward, not being afraid of how people are going to perceive you, because it doesn't matter what you're doing, how you're succeeding, you're always going to have haters, you're always going to have critics, so do it anyway, and just see where they're coming from, like why they want to do that to you, why do they want to try and dim your light, because they don't have the courage to push through like you did. All right, and we have house 10. So this could be a focus again, a change in your career, your social status, the way you make money. This whole emergence of power and gold coming through by no longer fearing a comparison is going to help you create a new power structure in your life for yourself. If you feel like a leader, a CEO, a creator of an organization, but it says your life mission too, accomplishments and career. So this is finding your mission in this life. And next we have Neptune, dream and transcend. Yeah, she has a very dreamy, far-off, visionary, distant look in her eyes and postponement. She's still maybe in the formulation process. Everything begins in the mind. So pay attention to your dreams, your dream journals. What kind of symbols are you seeing? Or what synchronicities are popping up in your life They're going to be different for everybody, so maybe do your own independent research on a repeating symbol, animal, number, whatever you see coming up for you. But that's your subconscious mind trying to communicate with you, which is Neptune. We had that last full moon in Pisces, so which is ruled by Neptune. You could have started this process in the full moon, and you're able to now, by the culmination of this next full moon after we pass through the eclipse, there's going to be an amazing manifestation. You're definitely bringing something into your everyday life where something was just a thought, now it's becoming a reality because you took the action toward it. You have the power and the drive to do it anyway. Face the fear and do it anyway. Then we have fixed Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. And we're coming into Scorpio season, which is all about change, but being fixed, stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. We talked about, these two tree trunks here. That was more like fixed. This is more like mutable. And you're a mutable sign. You're changeable. You're, like I said, always going with the flow. But this is the result. Gold is also malleable. But what you're fixing to create is a more stable future, a solid gold, a solid foundation. It's like a fixed identity that you may have been searching for a while now. All right, and underneath the deck, I forgot to show this earlier, but for the tarot cards, we had integration. So this is Sagittarius, the Temperance card, the Art card, but it's taking the yin and the yang. I mentioned about you being dualistic, working with both extremes and forming them into something unique that not everybody can hold that. The tension of two opposites like you can. You make an entirely third thing out of it. All right. And under the astrology deck, we had the square, a challenging situation, and a mountain to climb. Yeah. It's hard to push your way through the cracks here. It takes strength, it takes courage, persistence, experience of past lives, and, whoever the old you was in this life. So there's maybe something about your identity that needs to be reformed. You could be going through a Saturn return, or could have these eclipses impacting your first house, second, 8th, or 9th house. So doesn't have to be, but there's just a huge, like a birthing that's going on this month. A clarity of who you are and why you came here, your life's mission, your life purpose, like the 10th house card showed us. Capricorn could also be important. Let's see. Discipline. Courage and discipline are pretty similar. Let's see. Some Lenormand for us. Okay, we have the key, number 33, the master number, the elevation to a level of unlocking, like what is the key to my growth, the key to my success, and also security. It can secure your wealth also. And we have the star, destiny, destined to have. And the first word I saw in this card was Capricorn. So could be talking about that season as we move into the winter. Building a nest here with the cranes. A nest egg full of gold would be great. And then we have the ship moving on. Yeah, rising above. This is the equivalent of the Ten of Swords, which is the Sun and Gemini correspondence. So something is done, finished. You're ready to move on. You're ready to leave those tree trunk people behind, right? You're ready to fly. You built yourself a bamboo ship, and you're ready to go. You're lighter, you're more flexible. They're also crossing over this mountain, right? And we have the square, a mountain to climb. You didn't even climb it. You just flew over it. You took the easy way. You worked smarter, not harder. And maybe, some people might become jealous of that. So just be aware. I'm going to grab a Rose Oracle and we'll wrap this up. Oh, and some angel cards. I found them recently. I lost them and couldn't remember where I put them away, and they reappeared, so it's time to use them again. Let's see, a Rose card for Gemini. Okay, the Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. So some of your life purpose may have to do with humanitarian aid or humanitarian mission, but this you're growing into something so graceful. You know, on the surface it may not look very impressive, that sidewalk made out of rocks, but not everybody can see the potential in that. But you do. All right, some angel cards. But also humility, you know, recognizing the hard work that it took for you to get to this point. Have compassion for yourself, too, for the mistakes that you made along the way. It was all necessary. Okay, some angels. We have obedience. I mentioned discipline. So maybe there's something in your life you need to be more establishing a routine. Sometimes you can be too flexible and forgiving with yourself, but there seems to be a Saturnian need here with Capricorn showing up to be your own parent, to be the responsible one, because nobody can get your life on track but you. We have presence. Your presence is a present. But yeah, I think you're doing a lot better of staying in the present moment. There's again this leaving, moving on. So not letting the past or negative thoughts control you. We have light. Gold is certainly shiny, and so is the full moon here in its full power, bringing light to the world. The light is coming up over the horizon there for the nest. And I have one more in my hand. Oh, relaxation. That's where you're on your way to. Your ship is taking you to a place of peace and relaxation. I think once you stop, when you get out of your head, you're going to be able to relax. Okay, that's it, Gemini. That's everything I have today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If so, let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.